It's an extraordinary organization of men and women who've made an investment in our community.
It's professions and people coming together, feeling friendship, and out of that, going out into the world doing good things.
There's just a feeling of being in a room with a lot of friends.
It's about how people communicate, people helping each other, how people grow together, and how will people serve together.
Rotary for me served as a way not only to get involved with other people outside my business and my family, but also serves as a way to be able to start to give back to the community.
A kind word, just a kind gesture, just like 10 minutes of your time really changed somebody's life.
Rotary and community, it's like peanut butter and jelly. You know, they just go together real nicely.
It gives you joy. It gives you satisfaction. Most of the good things you do comes back to you severalfold.
Rotary is able to reach the younger members and really continue to tell the story. And I think that's how we'll stay vibrant and valid for the next 20, 50, 100 years.
Marshalltown and Rotary Club number 185 share a history of community leadership dating back 100 years. The success of Rotary in this community stems from the solid foundation on which the club was built, and the roster of the club over the years is a roster of those who have helped lead Marshalltown to significant milestones in the past century. When the first Rotary Club was formed in Chicago in 1905 by Paul P. Harris and 3 of his friends, the purpose was to form an organization of business and professional people who could help each other out. The motto, "Service above self, he profits most who serves best," idealized the force behind Rotary.
You know, our motto of service above self, I started seeing that in the people that I sat with, and that kind of helped me become part of that in my life and add to service in my community, and I enjoy that. That was an important part of my growth as a young man into an older fella.
Harris wanted the club to represent a cross-section of the business and professional life of its community. By 1910, through the influence of Harris, 15 other Rotary clubs had formed in cities around the country. Rotary was a club where its members were encouraged to talk shop. Rotary advocated conducting business as a public service and encouraged members to take an interest in their community. These ideals came from service objectives established by the group's founder.
Well, Rotary is really a group of community leaders who come together and have conversation, exchange ideas, and then take action.
The National Association of Rotary Clubs and the International Association of Rotary Clubs, later Rotary International, were formed as the number of clubs increased. Following a visit to a meeting of the Chicago Rotary Club, Marshalltown banker businessman Wallace H. Arney organized an informational meeting about the organization in Marshalltown, which was attended by 13 businessmen. Word spread, and by July 7th, 1915, about a month later, the first permanent organizational meeting of the Marshalltown Rotary Club was held, attended by 52 prospective members. When the first Marshalltown Rotary Organizing Committee contacted the Rotary Board of the International Association, the board ruled a club could not thrive in a city of less than 25,000 people. Through the persistence of the Marshalltown group, permission to establish the club was finally granted, and the city club was assigned the number 185. The first regular meeting of the newly organized group was July 19th, 1915, at the Pilgrim Hotel, with Arney elected as the first president.
You learn that you're a part of a worldwide network, not just the group that has lunch. It's 1.2 million people worldwide that you've become a part of.
Marshalltown Rotary has seen 3 of its members elected district governor during the past 100 years. In 1927, Rotarians were leaders in the group that raised $125,000 toward the funding of the $500,000 Hotel Talcourt. Rotary members voted to contribute $5,000 toward that fund. And on October 9th, 1928, Marshalltown Rotary began a tradition of meeting at the Hotel Tallcorn, which continued for the next 60 years.
Well, there are many things that Rotary does for the community, and they also do a lot of programs outside of the United States as Rotaries together work on different programs. And again, you go back to the motto, service above self, and you're never supposed to tell another Rotarian no. And so when there's the programs that do come out, it's very important that we all get involved and we all do what we're supposed to do for Rotary.
In 1948, it was under Rotary President Ralph McCaig's guidance that the Frank Pierce Trust began. Pierce, also known as the Boy Mayor of Marshalltown, was a charter member of Rotary and the founder of the Iowa League of Municipalities. Following his death, he left his estate in trust to his wife. When she passed away, the money went to fund scholarship low-interest loans for Marshalltown High School students attending a college or university in Iowa. The fund is governed by a board of trustees consisting of the president of Marshalltown Rotary and 4 other civic leaders.
I think I was very honored to be asked to join Rotary. I think looking at Rotary, it's a service organization that's not only local but worldwide, and gives the opportunity to be part of something that makes an impact both in your local community and also worldwide.
Marshalltown Rotarians enjoy the camaraderie of the weekly meetings.
Well, I can tell you that it's 39 years later and I haven't missed since. And I'm real proud of that fact that I've got 39 years of perfect attendance as of today.
In 1970, the Vroom Vaunted Rotarian of 1 Month Award was created by President George Hinshaw as a recognition of outstanding community service by a member. This award was replaced in 1975 by the annual Kenneth Brentnall Memorial Award. The late Paul G. Norris Jr. was the first to receive the recognition the year his son David was president. Marshalltown Rotary members also support the Rotary International Foundation, which was formed in 1917 to promote world understanding and peace. Each year, the foundation supports international humanitarian projects, which include the eradication of polio and other diseases, providing clean water, supporting education, growing local economies, empowering young people, and promoting world peace. Rotary Youth Exchanges include 8,000 students from 71 countries. Marshalltown Rotarians have been personally involved with many international projects.
Came up with the idea of developing a water project in South Sudan, Africa. We're not going there just to dig wells. We're going there to support the community and get community involvement and teach them how to drill wells. Our overall goal is to develop 3 different independent well drilling companies that when we leave, they can continue to be an independent business that can go out and help themselves, help their own community to develop.
In 1975, President-elect Cliff Wilson was inducted as the first Paul Harris Fellow. A Paul Harris Fellow is an individual who contributes $1,000 to the Rotary International Foundation. Since 1975, 310 Marshalltown Rotarians have become Paul Harris Fellows. 137 other Rotary members are designated sustaining members who have committed themselves to contribute $1,000 over a 10-year period. At the end of that 10-year period, they will also be recognized as Paul Harris Fellows. To date, Marshalltown Rotary members have contributed over $483,000 to the Rotary International Foundation. During the 1979-80 Club year, a plaque was presented to the late Paul G. Norris Jr. in appreciation for 31.5 years of news reporting service during the weekly meetings, a tradition carried on for many years by his son David. The weekly news reports continue to be presented by members of the News Committee. In 1984, the Marshalltown Rotary Foundation was formed. This local Rotary Foundation is separate from the foundation of Rotary International. The funds of the Marshalltown Rotary Foundation may be designated restricted and used to support Marshalltown High School students who plan to attend college. The financial grant is up to $1,000 a year for each student. The unrestricted funds may be used for other charitable community projects.
Rotary was involved in a project called Operation Warm. In Marshalltown, our Rotarians purchased 300 coats, and with the help of the Salvation Army and the Marshalltown Community School District nurses and counselors, as well as other organizations in Marshalltown who work with families who are struggling financially, we were able to deliver those 300 coats and make a huge impact in the lives of those 300 children in Marshalltown.
Student Rotarians have also been involved with community projects.
So I asked the committee that works with our student Rotarians to do something that would support the campaign for third grade reading. And the high school principal at Deep Home Viside turned the student Rotarians loose on it, and they came up with a project that they called Reading in the Roundhouse. So they were an amazing group of students. They went out and they raised the money. The Rotary Board had set aside some funds for them to do this, and they came back to us and they had raised all the money they needed from donations and fundraising that they did, which was just awesome to see that they had taken such a lead in that.
Under Rotary President Anita Ellingson's leadership, the club conducted a fundraising project, raising over $100,000 in 3 months, and acquired the band shell, which is managed by the county supervisors and is much used throughout Marshall County. Marshalltown Rotary inducted its first female members in 1987. It was also in 1987-88 that Rotary International undertook its most ambitious project ever, with the goal of eradicating polio and 5 other preventable diseases from the face of the earth. The campaign was named Polio Plus, and the original cost was estimated at $120 million. The Plus inoculation included tuberculosis, diphtheria, measles, whooping cough, and tetanus. By the end of the year, a total of $47,830 had been pledged to the project by Marshalltown Rotary members. As of 2015, Rotarians worldwide have now contributed more than $1 billion to Polio Plus. Polio once infected more than 350,000 annually. In 2011, 650 cases were reported, and in 2012, only 223.
Rotary International decided that they were going to embark on their greatest project in history, which was to immunize every child in the world against polio. And as Rotarians, we have embraced the opportunity to provide the financial support that is necessary to end this crippling disease. And so right now we are this close to eliminating polio.
Today, the active club membership totals 153 and includes men and women ranging in age from 26 to 93. The City of Marshalltown and Rotary Club number 185 have seen many changes during the past century. With the firm foundation and philosophy of Paul Harris still evident, Rotary has grown with the community and will help shape its direction for the future.
By always being willing to say yes and finding a way to make it all work is definitely a characteristic of a Rotarian.